Whales, the largest and most fascinating creatures on the planet. And they're right here, just a boat ride away, in the waters along the Maine coast. Some whales are larger than the ancient dinosaurs. They have been designed by thousands of years of evolution for a life beneath the sea. But whales are a lot like us. Of the species cetacean, they are not fish, but warm-blooded animals, mammals bearing live young. They can swim at speeds approaching 40 miles per hour and will dive as much as 1/2 mile below the surface in search of food. Also, like us, they have lungs, not gills, and spend most of their lives near the surface of the ocean waters in order to breathe. And when they breathe, watch out! As a whale surfaces, it exhales through its blowhole. But when it blows, the spout we see isn't water, but air. The whale's breath sprays high into the air, condensing as it meets the surrounding atmosphere and creating the distinctive bushy spout of the humpback whale, or the strong, straight spout of the finback whale. But this certainly isn't the only trick Maine whales can do. Humpback whales are among the most playful whales you'll ever see. In fact, no species breaches more or with greater apparent enthusiasm than the humpback. Watch for the bubbles. That could be humpback speeding. And you might even spot them spy hopping, rising out of the water to take a good long look at you. When they're born, baby humpbacks are a mere 13 feet long. And as adults, they grow to an average of 30 to 40 feet, some more than 50 feet. The humpback has, as you might expect, a slight hump just forward of its dorsal fin, and distinctive knob-like bumps about its head. It's black above and white below. Its long flippers are the same, with black markings. And they're long, sometimes up to 1/3 of its body length. Each humpback's tail, or fluke, is another trademark, and it differs with each individual, so much so that many humpbacks can be identified by their fluke alone. Speaking of identifying whales, it's easy to tell a finback whale from the others of its species. In fact, it's the only creature on the planet with naturally asymmetrical coloring, dark on one side of the head, light on the other. The finback also has, as the name suggests, a distinctive dorsal fin, relatively large, curved and pointed. Those fine, fancy stripes behind the whale's head, called chevrons, are only found on the finback. Or finbacks, if we're lucky enough to see a whole pod of finbacks feeding. Sometimes they're as long as 80 feet from head to tail. But we don't often see that tail. Finbacks don't often fluke up, making that tail clearly visible. By the way, it's a whale's tail. Any whale's tail. It's that powerful tail that sends it sailing through the water. Those fins aren't used for paddling or propulsion, but for steering. There's also the right whale out here in the Maine waters. But there aren't as many as there once were. In fact, the right whale got its name because it was just the right whale for commercial uses, ivory and whale oil for fuel. Hunting of right whales over the years, along with the loss to predators, disease, and natural disaster, has made the right whale the most endangered whale in the world. But we have some of them here in the Gulf of Maine in all their glory. An adult right whale can grow to more than 50 feet, but unlike other whales in Maine waters, the right whale has no dorsal fin. Its tail is another thing that makes the right whale easy to spot. It's large and black with a deep notch and smooth edges. And the spout of a right is different from other whales too, shooting 10 to 15 feet into the air, bushy and with a characteristic V shape. Right whales are curious creatures, often reacting to boats in the water. They also like to just hang out, sort of sleeping at the surface. And sometimes even sailing with head down deep in the water and tail paddling near the surface. And even though it's the smallest of the baleen whales, we can't forget the minke whale. The minke is small, as whales go that is, at just about 30 feet from stem to stern. Its dark back and white belly are complemented by a blaze of gray on its chest and distinctive white band on each short fin. The minke has a tall, sharply hooked dorsal fin, but you hardly ever see its tail. It's agile and difficult to follow. In fact, the minke whale is known for its ability to disappear suddenly, seemingly without a trace. But there are others, pilot whales for instance. But those bubbles you see, well, that could be the sign of a whale feeding below the surface. The whale is a creature of amazing size, fast, graceful, social. Sometimes, to us humans, whales even seem silly, playful, almost as if they have a sense of humor. Whales are talented too, dancing in sync on the sea's stage, or just flopping around. Sometimes on special excursions, you can also have the chance to see other denizens of the whale's world. White-sided dolphins riding the bow waves. Seals. Basking sharks. Mola mola, or ocean sunfish. Puffins and other seabirds. The whales of the Gulf of Maine, seeing them in their natural habitat is an adventure of a lifetime. For more information, write Allied Whale, College of the Atlantic, 105 Eden Street, Bar Harbor, Maine, 04609, or call 207-288-5644.